Hello, I'm Scott Soshnick.
And I'm Eben Novi-Williams, and this is the I Knew You Were Trouble When You Won the Super Bowl Again sports business podcast, the Sporticast.
Help me with that. What?
All my Swift fans out there.
Okay.
It's an allusion to one of her songs, and the Kansas City Chiefs world champion. Kansas City Chiefs, Scott, winning the Super Bowl back-to-back. Overtime victory, double overtime, I guess, technically, right? Or was it right at the end of the first overtime?
Yeah, and the first overtime.
Who knows? Did you enjoy the game? Where did you watch it? Give me some details of your Sunday.
Well, hold on. First off, I'm trying to remember, because I want to credit really smart stuff when I see it, and now I don't remember who did it. But right after the game, somebody tweeted, is it over now? Which I thought was talking about your Swifties. No, but talking about your Swifties, like, is it over now? I'm like, oh, that was clever. I believe I give it the clever award.
Good.
But now I completely forgot who did it, so shame on me. Did I enjoy it? All right, so again, we didn't go the party thing this year. Everybody's exhausted, so it was just wife and focus group of one who was on his phone, who was kind of paying attention, who was doing a million different things. I don't even know what. I did enjoy it. Obviously, close games are good. I did say early on when the Niners coughed up the ball, and I'm like, boy, they're really outplaying them, and they're up by 7. I'm like, this is, or with 3 or whatever it was. I'm like, this is going to be a problem. Like, you just had to note that this was going to be a problem. They needed to have a bit of a cushion. So yeah, overall, I think it was a great night for the NFL.
Yeah.
It was a great night for the Chiefs and the Niners. We can get into commercials and all that stuff, because I jotted some stuff down. But what more could CBS ask for? You had the Nickelodeon broadcast again, good with kids. Your stars were stars. They performed when you needed to. You had your myriad Taylor Swift sightings, which is fine. So all in all, the NFL has got to be over the moon.
I agree. I had an interesting viewership experience. I watched the first half with my dad down on the Jersey Shore. Shout out to Richard, who's going through some things right now. And then we drove back to New York during the second half.
Oh, interesting.
The least traffic I have ever seen on a road. I've driven back to New York at 4 a.m, Scott. There were less people on the road last night at 9:30 than there are at 4 a.m. sometimes. And we ended up listening to the game on the radio on the way back, which I have not listened.
I'm sorry,
to
on the what?
On the radio. It took me 10 minutes to find it.
On the radio.
The SEO of finding what channel the Super Bowl is on the radio in New York is actually quite difficult.
Did you have satellite radio, or were you going AM/FM?
No, we're going AM/FM.
All right, good for you, old school.
ESPN radio is now FM in New York. Didn't know that. Anyway, I had not listened to a football game on the radio, I don't think, in 20 years.
Who had the call? Was that a Westwood One? Who had the call?
It was Kurt Warner, and I can't remember who was doing the play-by-play.
Okay.
But they did a great job, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very different Super Bowl watching experience than I am used to, obviously. But I think maybe there's some more football radio. It's funny because when I watch sports, usually it's on mute in my apartment. I usually don't listen to the commentary, and this time I was doing only commentary. But I did enjoy it.
There was a lot of what's the right word? A lot of consternation surrounding Tony Romo heading into the game. Yeah, there was a lot of that, and I thought he was really good when he was talking about Bosa, how he had to keep the outside, and he said, here's an example, and he used the video to show what he was talking about. I thought Tony Romo was quite illustrative, and his hallmark was predictive. I thought it was a very good broadcast.
One of the things I find really interesting about Romo is one of the things he did so well, the predictive stuff. He as a quarterback, I think a lot of quarterbacks are like this, and we may see this from Tom Brady next year. He was so good at diagnosing the game because he had just played it. And I do wonder, for people that skew with that as their talent, the further and further they get away from the game, if in some ways that talent starts to wane a little bit, it does really feel like consternation is the right word, that the Tony Romo allure has worn off quite a bit among fans, and yeah, I do wonder if the thing that made him so good and so popular at the beginning is just really hard to sustain when you're not playing in the NFL and in team meetings every single day, etc. So yeah, I agree, but he didn't bother me nearly as much as he has in the past. But he just doesn't seem to be as good on his feet, and his like kind of interjections are often kind of weird and clunky and bizarre.
Well, look at you. All right, speaking of weird and clunky, and we know in journalism, in football, whatever, preparation is the key, right? I've had a military dad. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. That was better to have it, not use it, than not have it, need it. Yeah, the 7 Ps. Yeah, absolutely. You go up in a military family, that's what you get. 2 kinds of people: those who are on time, those who are happy. So there's lots of things to learn from the Army father. But I don't attack people often, Eben, and I don't want anybody's business to go to pot. But I bring this up only because you are a Montclair, New Jersey native.
Oh, I am.
So I did decide, besides some Italian food, I decided that we needed to have some chicken wings for the game. Price of wings wasn't too bad. So I did the Google of the best chicken wings in the area, and there were 2 places. One was closer. I said, all right, I'm going to give Urban Chicken in Montclair a try. Little spot. Dude, this was a business that was overwhelmed. Like I walked in. I was
gonna say this is their day.
But I'm sitting here
going.
What I said when it became one of those shared bonding experiences about everybody waiting for the order and the confusion and the tickets falling under the counter and the woman or one of the people behind the woman, she's yelling at everybody behind them, and there's one calm dude who was trying to help everybody. Total chaos, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just picking up the phones with the Urban Chicken, we're not taking any more orders. Urban Chicken, we're not taking any more orders. Urban Chicken, no more orders. But I got to say, Urban Chicken, who could have predicted that the chicken wings would be popular on Super Bowl Sunday?
Exactly, yeah.
Preparation. And, when I ordered online.
Were they good? Are we giving a free ad here? It doesn't. This is not a sponsor, clearly.
No, not a sponsor. Again, overworked, very, very difficult day. They said that their big problem was they had told all the delivery services to not take orders, but they did anyway. They were putting them through anyway, so that put them behind. So I'll give them another shot. I understand what it was like to be overwhelmed, but Urban Chicken had a tough one. They didn't seem to have a good plan.
So if Urban Chicken was a loser of the weekend, let's run through some winners. You hit on a few at the beginning there. CBS seems to be pretty high at the top of the list. We don't have the numbers. We're recording this on Monday morning.
Since you're so good at ratings, give me the number. Give me the total. Wait, Eben, I'm going to do you a solid this time because I felt as if
you set me up to fail last time.
I'm not. Well, actually, I thought I gave you a pretty easy number last time, but I'm going to set you up, Eben. More or less than 100 million viewers.
Yeah, that one I think I can do. I'm going to go over. It seems like something between 115 and 130 is the thing that people seem to be projecting.
How many Swifties came in? Yeah.
A lot of Swifties, as we talk about a lot, how the game goes. The game script is important. This one was close for almost the entire second half, or essentially the entire game, including overtime, multiple scores in overtime. This is the dream scenario for CBS. I didn't watch any, but I saw some people talking about the SpongeBob broadcast as well. The way the NFL postseason works, particularly around the Super Bowl, is it varies by. Every year there's a different broadcaster, right? It's Fox, it's NBC, it's CBS. It's partially roll of the dice what you get, and CBS must be thrilled with the Vegas allure. We can talk about the halftime show at some point, but the fact that this game went into overtime and had a long overtime is a dream come true for CBS execs.
I'm not sure if there's an answer to this, but I don't like the fact that the team that gets the ball second in overtime has the advantage of knowing that they got to go for it on fourth down. Or don't have to go for it on fourth down. I don't love it. I want things to be even. That's not even. That's bottom of the ninth stuff.
The Niners won the coin toss and took the ball
they made
first.
A mistake.
I don't know if there was
I don't understand how you
over
definitely
the rules,
want to be second.
Because previous years, if you get the ball first and score a touchdown, you win. Game over. Right. So there is an advantage of going first in previous years.
Yep.
Once they changed the rule that said even if a touchdown scored, you get the ball back, the other team gets the ball back, it seems like a strategic
You get an extra down. Yes, you get an extra down if you go second. Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is that the game had ended on a Chiefs drive, And maybe Mike Shanahan, the 49ers coach, just thought his defense was so gassed that he didn't want to put them back on the field immediately right afterwards. That's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise there is a strategic advantage, absolutely, to taking the ball second, given the new ownership, new overtime rules.
Lost the game, but let's give out some wins on the Niners side. Brock Purdy played very well.
Agreed.
Yep. That gave no indication that this was a fluke or anything. This guy can play in this league under the highest pressure. Christian McCaffrey. He just, you see the one, I think they handed it to him like 4 or 5 times in a row, and he was just churning up yards. And you could see somebody motioned him to come to the sideline, and he didn't want to go out of the game. But then he got to the sideline, and you saw he was just out of breath. Yeah. But I was like, that guy. Woo.
Watching with my parents again, my mom was like, this guy just seems like better than everybody else on the field.
There's a reason why he's the likely MVP of the league. But still, when you see him doing it, you're like, wow, that guy's fast.
Agreed. I'm trying to think of some other wins there. That definitely an unfortunate situation. The guy that tore his Achilles walking onto the field. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
God, talk about bad luck.
Running on to celebrate. I'm just happy it wasn't turf, because then we'd hear about that forever.
Totally.
It can always happen. I get it. And how about the poor guy where the ball hit him on the punt?
Oh man.
And at first, if like you were probably listening to the game, but I was all over. I was all over the return man, going, "Why are you touching that ball? What are you doing?"
Yeah,
it hit your teammate's leg. Yeah.
Exactly.
But then, how many? But this, I will tell you this, especially in that situation, and this was drilled into me from my Pop Warner football days. Don't try to pick it up. Just fall on the ball. He tried to pick it up, couldn't get it, and of course, didn't get it in at all.
Yeah, the rookie kicker on the Niners had a great game as well. I think he's a winner. Oh, except for it was blocked, right?
He didn't get it up high enough.
So I know it was big extra point to miss.
That is a 4. Because obviously they would have had the Chiefs would have had one more play needing a touchdown.
Yeah. So we'll go back to the winners now. I mean, the player-wise, Patrick Mahomes, this is his league now. The comparisons to Brady were happening before this game even started. They are not going to stop now. He's 28 years old. He's won 3 championships, I think 3 Super Bowl MVPs as well. The team has been to even more really, really deep postseason games, including some Super Bowls. This is his league now. And we wondered when the Brady, Rodgers, Manning era, when all that stuff was over, what it was going to look like for stardom in the NFL, and the conversation starts now at this point with Patrick Mahomes, both on the field and off it. He's in a ton of commercials, State Farm, a number of others. He
limited partner in a number of teams.
Investor in the Royals, in the Kansas City NWSL team that's there, I believe.
Yep.
He's doing the off-field stuff. He's doing the endorsement stuff. He's doing it on the field as well. He is the new face of the NFL on it and off.
Along with Taylor. I thought she wins too. I mean, I did.
They're NFL fans that root for their team for 50 years and never see a championship, and she got it done in 4 months. It's pretty remarkable.
Well done. Didn't you see somebody put out, like Mahomes tweeted years ago, like, why does Taylor Swift win everything?
Oh, that's funny.
Great tweet from years ago.
Great. Yeah,
all right, now give me this. There's 2 things that are best associated with the Super Bowl that are not game related.
Yeah.
That's halftime and commercials. So give me your halftime, because I can tell you that, my wife was into it. She was rocking and rolling, or vibing. So give me a review of halftime.
I loved it. I mean, Usher is one of those artists that became popular when I was just started getting into R&B and pop music, and is still obviously popular now. Like we've grown up. People my age have grown up with Usher in a lot of ways. It does make me feel old, and I felt this way especially with the Eminem and Dr. Dre one, where like the nostalgia play at the Super Bowl is now my demographic. It's not
old man.
It's not U2. It's not the Rolling Stones playing or Bruce Springsteen playing the halftime show. It is now like the people that are my contemporaries as artists. But I'm a fan of Usher's work, obviously, and I enjoyed it seems like a foolproof plan to play your biggest hits and bring out a few of the famous people that you've done big songs with, right? So this was Lil Jon, it was Ludacris, it was Alicia Keys. This feels like the way to do it now. Do a bunch of your songs, have a cool set piece, do some dancing, have a few other famous people come on stage with you, end it with everybody on stage together. It's formulaic at this point, but I do think it works.
I thought in Vegas, the whole thing needed to be over the top because it's Vegas. I thought it started slowly.
Yeah.
I just was like, all right, it's fine. Like, yeah, it was fine, and then it elevated with the roller skating, which is obviously what he's doing in Vegas. I just thought it needed to be more of a big show, but it got there. It built to a crescendo. That got there. A little slow at the start, but it did get there. And the reason you got to love Luda, by the way, guest star in Law and Order, I think, in an episode. So,
Okay.
I love me some Law and Order. To have Luda in there was great.
My dad had an interesting observation during the halftime show that he was shocked that they were on the field. Usually they roll out these huge stages and all the dancers are doing whatever they're doing, not on the field itself. There was a big portion of that, the first half or so of that show, people were dancing on the field. He was surprised, and I was also surprised when he said it, given how much criticism
they've taken,
the league has taken for the quality of its field in big games, particularly in the Super Bowl last year. The fact that you're letting professional dancers run all over and stomp and do flips and backflips and stuff on the field, I was actually very surprised by that. So I thought that was an interesting observation.
All right, good way to go, Dad. Now the commercials.
Yeah,
this is where I have my most fun. I actually had a little pad out and wanted to keep track. And instant, I thought there was a clear winner. And we'll see what all the trackers say today.
I'm really surprised to hear what you, and again, I did not see any of the probably the last 30% of the game, but I'm really surprised to hear what you thought.
Well, I want to say clear winner, 2 winners overall, 1 clear winner, and I must stress that I have not looked at all at any of the trackers, or I have not seen the polling. I have not seen who's telling things. This was just off what I had penned in real time. So the winner for me, Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
I mean,
I was a lot of attention.
I was just. It was really funny. I could see the whole thing. I could see that being the dynamic in the relationship, in all the relationships. Like, Matt Damon was great. Remember when I said I'd do anything for, like, this is anything? Like, really?
anything, yeah.
Like, I could just feel like that was the dynamic of the relationship there.
How expensive do we think that ad was, by the way? J-Lo, Affleck, Damon, Tom Brady, Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
there was a few other folks in there too, right? It was.
Maybe say, guys, do you want to be part of the best commercial? Yeah. Do you want to be part of the best one? Or maybe it's just sort of like Kramer. He wants, just a free latte for life. He wants the card. I would say this for the Boston folks, the Bostonians, and that of course would be Affleck and Damon there. It's probably a badge of honor to do something for Dunkin' Donuts because if you grew up in New England. That's a soundtrack of your life, or an olfactory soundtrack of your life, man.
Affleck
there's one every 10
has,
feet.
I believe. Yeah, I think this is like a part of a series for him. But yeah, I agree. I think that's
all right. And my second one was what, Temu?
Yeah, Temu. Yeah,
Temu. Because I'm like, what is that? And I go look, and now at least I didn't think the commercial was very good, but I kind of got an idea of what it was from the commercial. But it made me take action. I then went and looked for more. So, and I remembered, I pronounced it wrong, but I remember the brand. I knew what it was. So to me, that was it. And can I go like probably anti-establishment on one too?
Please. Yeah.
And then you jump in this, and I'll
Yeah.
good. I'm sure I'll get slaughtered on this one because people who cry at commercials hate when you criticize it. But that Kia ice skating commercial is just so ridiculous.
I don't know which one this is, but I love your take.
Oh, you didn't see it? Like, no. The girl didn't perform well in her ice skating competition. So on the drive home, Dad in his new Kia, he veers off the highway into the snow, and then they arrive at Grandpa's house. And Grandpa, I believe, was in a wheelchair. And Grandpa is at the window looking at the girl. Oh, my God, guess what? By the way, there happens to be a perfectly frozen pond outside in Grandpa's front yard. And then the lights are connected to make it look beautiful. And she does the routine for Grandpa looking out the window. And in the fog of the window, he writes 10. I hated everything about it. I'm like, come on. Like,
just
really?
Hearing your breakdown also makes
it was
makes
syrup
me
on top of syrupy with, oh my God, come on. Like there's enough real life emotional heartstrings without it just made no sense to me.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway.
Yeah. Interesting. So I do want to talk about Temu for a second because there's a really interesting dynamic there where everybody seem to hate that advertisement. I've seen a few of the lists of the best and worst. Like, it is routinely towards the bottom. but it seems to have the exact effect that it had on you with a lot of people. It's the most Temu is the most downloaded app on the Google Play Store this morning and on the App Store. Yeah.
Yep.
So as bad as the ad, there's going to be some really interesting marketing study done on this, because the ad got panned. It seems to have been extremely effective, which is really all the company cares about. I also believe, I think I read this, Temu had an ad in the Super Bowl last year with the exact same slogan, the "Shop Like a Billionaire" is the slogan, and that ad I think did not have anywhere near the success. So they made a bad ad recycling an unsuccessful slogan from the previous year, and somehow the thing caught fire. There's a bit of marketing that I think is total random, right? And you can catch
What's
lightning
the psychological part of this? What made
anything
this work?
specific? But if you look at the returns in terms of people wondering what it is and downloading it to try it, that seems to be one of the most successful ads, at least in the 24 hours after the games, that we had last night.
All right, and I'll give another one that I noticed and I chuckled. I just don't know what the purpose was. Like, for me, I like the whole couch potato with Pluto TV.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but I still don't know what offerings Pluto TV has, and do I want to go sign up for Pluto TV now? No, but I chuckled at couch potatoes growing in the, I thought planting the TVs in front of them. I chuckled at the ad, but it doesn't make me want to get Pluto TV.
One of the ones that jumped out to me, and I think there were two of them at least, the Paramount Plus ads.
Yeah.
All these streaming services have, in my opinion,
That's the home team advantage. That's a home team advantage.
Home team advantage, absolutely. They have a challenge of explaining to consumers what they have. Right, they have a little bit of something for everyone. I thought that, particularly the one with Patrick Stewart throwing "Hey Arnold" against the wall, I think did a really elegant job of highlighting, hey, here's what we have. We have these cartoons that you 30-year-olds grew up with. We have these new cartoons that you've never that are new to your kids.
Hey, Barrymore.
We've got Sonic IP. We've got NFL content. We got Tua here. I think that did a very good job of showing kind of the breadth of all those things, and it's a challenge for streaming companies who get known in specific pockets for single pieces of content, I think. But I thought the Paramount Plus ad was a very cool way of trying to show the breadth of everything that you can get on Paramount Plus.
And they also did well what I think is a modern day thing. How do you release it before the game to sort of get a little bit of buzz?
This always bothers you, I know.
It does, but because remember, we looked at it in the office. I had seen it once and I chuckled. Yeah. And then when it came on, I actually said to my wife, hey, watch, this is pretty funny. Yeah. So I made her pay attention because I had seen it once. I might have maybe not paid attention as much at the first, but I don't know. Patrick Stewart makes me pay attention anyway. It just makes me laugh and the chuckle and just seeing him with the characters. But as soon as he said, like, what did he say? Like, quiet, stop talking, Barrymore, quiet, Barrymore. That was a win for me.
Here's a question I have for you. There were at least three, because I saw three distinct different company ads with Jeff Goldblum in it.
Yeah.
Do you think is he telling everybody, like, hey, by the way, I'm in two other Super Bowl ads?
Full disclosure here.
Do you think people are watching the game and like, they got Jeff Goldblum too? They got Jeff Goldblum too? I thought I'm very curious to see how much disclosure there is, because I can't imagine companies love the idea of having a Super Bowl ad later in the game that is featuring a star actor that's already pitching something else.
I'm with you. Confusion.
It's just confusing. Yeah.
Confusion.
Which one was that? Which one was he hawking in that one? I was surprised to see that. That was shocking.
Who else? There was a Scorsese.
Yeah, that was Squarespace, I think.
Who was the other actor that they had? And I couldn't figure out. I'm like, I like the actor, but I'm like, I don't get why. Like, it's not.
I can't remember.
I hate this. Now I forgot it. Yeah, but he didn't make my list, so I was like, why are they using him? Like, I get it, but I'm like, I just don't get.
Ice Spice, I think, was in 2 or 3, and was in the booth with Taylor Swift and Lively at the game. So a good day for Ice Spice.
Did you see he was in the booth with Beyonce and Jay-Z?
No, I didn't see that.
No. Do you know Mr. Jack Dorsey?
I do know Jack Dorsey. Yeah, of course. So
Jack Dorsey was there, of course.
Interesting. That's not a tie up that I was expecting you to say.
It wasn't a tie up. It was a title up.
God.
Thank you. But I love the people who just don't get Twitter when you don't. This is why I still think World War III will happen on Twitter, because something's going to get misunderstood. Like, somebody was like, "Hey, does anybody know who the guy to the right is?" And the whole bunch of responses like, "Hey, moron, that's Jack Dorsey." But he's like, no, he knew who it was.
What did he do?
Yeah, he wasn't really asking for you to tell him who it was.
Have I ever used his Surface?
Yeah, exactly.
Twitter friends?
Oh, yeah. All right, was there anything else that stood out to the game for you?
I'm trying to think of we talked a bit last week about Las Vegas as a entertainment city. And,
hold on. Wait. Hold on. I want to cut you off.
Okay.
I want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Let's go to Stool Presidente.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, that's real hardcore sport business. He was like, I am not wasting a millisecond. My contract said when the football season is over, I can jump back into sports betting. So it was like that ball was caught. There were no penalty flags on the play. Hey, guess what, everybody? I'm all over Twitter telling you I've got a deal with DraftKings.
Yeah. So we reported a couple weeks ago that DraftKings and Barstool had a new big sports betting partnership, but because of the separation between Penn Entertainment and Barstool, what I was told was that Barstool was not allowed to announce anything until after the Super Bowl ended. And I think for most companies, they would have waited a couple days and gotten the full announcement ready and the press release and issued embargoed information to a bunch of different reporters. For better or worse, Barstool obviously does not operate like everybody else. They had a coordinated ad campaign, Scott. As you said, it dropped like 22 minutes after the Super Bowl ended. Multiple videos filled with Dave Portnoy, the owner of Barstool, and a lot of the other big personalities. They announced it in a big way. It got a lot of attention. Dave also, in his classic way, was retweeting a lot of the tweets throwing shade at him and Barstool from the Penn separation back in August. It was clearly a very planned and organized thing. They're doing a free throw contest.
Prior planning prevents this.
All seven of the P's. They're doing a free throw contest with DraftKings on Monday. Very much a kind of new age Barstool kind of thing. One of these challenges where it could take 2 hours to complete. It could take 5 days to complete. They're going to stream the whole thing live. You can play fantasy games against it and win money. Just a very uniquely Barstool thing. And we talked about this deal when we wrote it a couple weeks ago, Scott. Big questions about how valuable this is actually going to be. Is Barstool going to successfully drive traffic to DraftKings in a way that is sustainable and valuable for their business? But it was on my list of calls to make this morning, Monday morning. Like, hey, I knew it was going to be announced shortly after the Super Bowl. Like, let's see where that stands.
Way to be lazy. Monday morning meant 12:01, dude.
Exactly. There's a lesson in here for me, absolutely. But yeah, they wasted 22 minutes of time before the season ended to make sure the world knew about this.
Yeah, this was the equivalent of wanting to get the offer to the prize free agent. Free agency
Exactly.
starts at Sunday at 12:01. Guess what? Here's your offer, 12:01.
Get it all tendered and make sure it's on his desk.
Even though you talked about it for 7 weeks, but can't tell the league that really happened.
Exactly.
All right, close it out, my man.
Yeah, this is he is Scott Soshnick. You can find him on Twitter at Soshnick. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Eben Novi Williams at Novi_Williams. Aaron Greenewald produces the show. Thank you very much to Aaron. Sportico's digital media editor Cora Veltman would like you to know that you can follow the show at Sporticast, which is the hub of the Sportico Media Network.